Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I am one of your hosts, Delia, and I'm here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law, Beatrice.
Hi.
We are back to talk Sister Wives, hoodie. We are still in season 6.
Yep.
Just to refresh you, we have moved into the cul-de-sac. Everybody's got their own homes.
Everyone's so happy.
But there are still issues that are happening in this family.
Big yikes.
Before we get into it, we do have to issue you a disclaimer. Please hide your wife and hide your kids. This is a politically incorrect podcast, which means we say bad words, which is allowed now on YouTube. Did you see that?
Good. Finally.
Yeah. Maybe they'll put us in the algorithm, bitch.
Maybe.
We say bad words. We have dumb opinions.
Objectively.
And we're not going to apologize about it. So if you're sensitive,
go away.
You might want to find yourself another dumpster.
Bye.
But if you want to travel with the Browns to the hospital and watch as Truly has a medical emergency,
so sad.
then welcome to this dumpster.
And if you like what we do over here and how objectively dumb and pretty we are, please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality TV Cringe and join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Reality TV Cringe. We have so much bonus content up on there, ad-free stuff. What are we covering? The Valley.
We're covering the Valley. We're winding down on the Valley.
Yeah.
And we're also going to be diving back into couples therapy because we did not know that there was a season 4B.
I can't believe that.
We covered season 4, I guess, A.
I guess.
But there's a B, and so we can't wait to get back into it.
We're going to watch that.
So definitely join us on Patreon. We have a lot of fun there. And the only thing missing is you. Now, if you are watching on YouTube, please do not forget, if you would be so kind, to like and comment and share and subscribe, because every single one of those things truly does boost us in the algorithm, and we're still trying to grow up here.
Yeah.
We haven't reached 6,000 subscribers yet.
It's been a long haul.
But we know that those of you who love us are here with us. So if you would be so inclined to help us, we would appreciate it. Thank you in advance.
Thank you.
So did you have any takeaways from this episode of Sister Wives, Beatrice?
I just felt so bad for little baby Truly. I mean, she just looked so sick, just like swaddled up on the couch in her little blue blanket. And I'm just like, man, I feel so bad. Cody kind of made me mad about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll get into it.
But it's just like, I just felt bad for little baby Truly.
Yeah, I actually obviously felt bad for Truly because she went through like a very serious medical event.
Yeah.
But I also really felt bad for Aspen.
Yeah.
Because this is a child, a woman, a young woman who has been so deeply parentified. And she has not been given like the psychological resources and assistance to like be able to process as an adult parent would.
Yeah.
And so here is this young child, 3-year-old Truly, who may not make it.
Yeah.
And Aspen was the main child who was taking care of Truly while all the wives went to San Fran, and Cody pretended he was a father while he burned the steaks on the grill. And so I just can only imagine the sense of responsibility and then the subsequent sense of failure that she might have been grappling with. And you kind of see her break down a few times in this episode. And I'm like, oh, Aspen,
I know.
It wasn't your fault. It's not your responsibility.
Yep.
And you're such a good girl.
I know. She did the best that she could. She was like, what, 18 or 17 right here? So yeah, I feel bad for her too.
Yeah. But it was a good episode. Yeah. Without further ado, let's get into season 6, episode 16, entitled
Browns in Crisis.
Oh, Lord. And they were.
They were definitely in crisis. But before we get into like all of the Truly stuff, we start off the episode with Christine saying that she took Truly to the doctor after she was sick last episode, and the doctor was like, oh, she just has the flu, like whatever, and they sent her home. So while she's at home trying to recuperate from said flu, the adults go out and they start to like look for shit for their commitment ceremony.
Yes.
They go pick up flowers and
then we're talking about a lot of flowers and how the whole family loves calla lilies and I'm snoring.
It's so dumb. And then we go and look at cakes.
Well, before we look at cakes, though, they come up with the bright idea of a tree. And so like they're looking at the foliage and the different flowers, right? And Mary at the florist, just like, well, it wouldn't be cool if we had like a tree of life motif.
Oh, for the theme, yes,
for the theme
of the party.
And so this is, I guess, where it starts to really take on a life with the Browns, and this becomes ultimately the theme of their commitment ceremony, the tree of life, because they're finally in the cul-de-sac. They can put down their roots and they can grow together, which just kills me.
It's so stupid.
Because obviously in 5 years, you're going to be leaving Las Vegas and moving to Flagstaff, and you've got a time capsule, you've got a tree that you're planting, and like, you're just going to abandon all of this. Crazy.
It's absolutely
crazy
insane.
business. Yes.
It's absolutely insane. And then when they go and meet with the cake designer and they start talking about like what they envision for the cake, and Cody comes up with the bright idea of, I want a giant tree cake. I want it to be at least 36 inches high. It's got to feed 500 people. I want it to be a big old stump with a big old bushel of tree. And the cake designer's like, okay, we can try to do that. It's going to be $8,500 though.
I know. And Janelle, before she even heard the cost of the cake, is just like, we have to think about prices, and we have to think about like what we can afford and what's in the budget. And so even though this show has been on for 6 seasons on TLC, they're not necessarily rolling in a ton of dough yet. They've probably overextended themselves in order to get into these cul-de-sac homes. And now they're trying to sort of live according to that lifestyle. And that's costing money. And so we still have Janelle trying to be the voice of reason. Like, do we really need an $8,500, circa 2013, 2014 cake for our dumbass for content only party that I don't even want to be a part of?
It's kind of crazy because you see Cody's like desire to be like to portray himself as richer than he is. Like, oh, I want this big, beautiful, fancy tree. And like when the cake designer says it's going to be $8,500, Cody at first kind of seems like, oh, okay, that's all right. And Janelle's the one that has to reel him back. And even Christine is like, we don't really need that cake.
Right.
I'm sorry to dash your hopes and dreams for this big, beautiful tree cake, but like we don't need that. Like we can just have a regular schmegular cake from Kroger. Like it doesn't need to be anything fancy.
Absolutely.
Like I just couldn't believe Cody, and he seemed like genuinely upset by it. I wonder if he like held a little bit of resentment because he didn't get his dream cake.
It's all about him.
It is.
And it's all about how he projects himself to be
and what he wants.
And I can't believe that they're expecting 500 people to attend this backyard commitment ceremony. Like, do they know 500 people?
No, TLC does.
Okay, I guess we're gonna get there when we get there.
Absolutely.
But they want it to be special with calla lilies, a tree, and a cake of a tree.
Girl, and I was like thinking back into the archives when I watched these episodes way back in the day, and like the commitment ceremony's booty. Like their dresses are booty, the dress is booty. I'm just like, this is gonna be so dumb. I can't wait.
Like everything they do.
Of course. And then we go over to Leon, and it's Leon's last day at home, I think, because they're going to college.
Yes.
And this is where they're like preparing for like a going away party, and Cody wants to take Leon car shopping. And I'm just like wondering, did the other kids get to go to car shopping? Did they have a car? Did they get a car from like Craigslist and Leon gets to go to a dealership? Like, I don't know.
Well, I'm wondering who's paying for this vehicle for Leon, because in later seasons, I do believe just last season, Mary's like, I bought the car. I paid for the tuition. I was the one who had to extend myself and come out of my own pockets on behalf of Leon. So I'm just like, are you even going to pay for this car? Why are you acting like you are?
I know, it's super weird to me. But like Leon's big day of going to college and everything gets overshadowed by Truly, because Truly is just getting like sicker and sicker. This is where Christine decides to take Truly to the doctor's office again because she ended up going cross-eyed
a few times,
apparently, according to Aspen and McKelty.
Which, okay. So finally, when Christine sees Truly go cross-eyed, she realizes, oh, this is disturbing. It's
something's
a problem.
Wrong.
We need to go to the doctor. But according to Aspen and McKelty, they had seen it a few times before that.
Yeah.
I would imagine they sent up the flare and let Christine know. And I'm like, why are we not going to the hospital? And I wanted to ask you a question about the doctor visit after San Francisco, because at the top of this episode, like you said, They again took Truly to the doctor. The doctor's like, it's probably just the flu.
Yeah.
And we know that she is very shortly from that point going to go into acute kidney failure.
Yeah.
Like, is there really no fever for acute kidney failure? Is there really no symptom or other symptoms that they would have been able to pick up on before she's keeling over and going cross-eyed?
You know, I'm not sure with kids. Like, I know with adults, like it presents a little bit differently. Kids are like super resilient until they're not. And so it's like, you know, they probably went to the pediatrician and they're like, yeah, she's got the flu, which I think she did actually have the flu. She just ended up like severely dehydrated and then ended up into kidney failure because of the dehydration. But she had the flu. And so that's what they're just going to say that. They're just going to be like, yeah, she's fine. Just, you know, like give her some Theraflu and she'll be fine. Like whatever. But because she ended up so dehydrated, that was why she ended up getting cross-eyed and getting into kidney failure.
And with regard, I didn't mean to cut you off,
No.
but with regard to the dehydration, so if she had the flu, then as a parent, I would know, like, I don't know if she's pooping, I don't know if she's barfing, but like whatever she's doing, I'm giving her Pedialyte. I'm making sure she's got electrolytes. I'm making sure in particular that she's got fluids that she needs. But when you delegate that responsibility to Aspen, who may not have, I mean, she probably does, but she may not have the knowledge of that, or
She's
like
18.
She's 18.
Yeah.
And McKelty, who's even younger than that.
Right.
And you're like we talked about this last week, you're not actually staying over at Christine's house. Because every time I saw Cody, he's coming out of Robin's house
Exactly.
in this episode.
Yep.
And I'm like, why are you always over there? Already the first year in the cul-de-sac?
Yep.
So you've got these two young girls who probably just don't know better, that they've got to continue to be pushing Pedialyte and fluids and all of this. And so we have this inevitable breakdown of Truly. And I feel like it's not a fluke. And I know a lot of people think that this is just happenstance and like we can't blame Cody, we can't blame anybody, but I'm just like, I don't know, but as a mom and stuff like that with a sick kid, I'd be like, why aren't you just pushing fluids the entire time? I don't understand. Am I being judgmental?
I mean, no, because I kind of thought the same thing. And I think that this is like indicative of the problem of having like such a large family too, because things like this get overlooked. Like when you have so many kids, and like if it's just Christine managing all of these kids by herself, and I'm not trying to like make excuses for the parents not paying attention or anything like that, but like if Cody's not around and Christine is having to juggle a bunch of other things and she's delegating all of these tasks to the eldest kids, it's like, of course it's going to get missed. And that's what's so unfortunate, because this really could have been like the end for Truly, and it's terrible. Like, I'm really glad that she pulled through and she's healthy and thriving now. But like watching this back, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, how did this go unnoticed? Because once Christine finally notices Truly's going cross-eyed, she takes her to the doctor, and I'm just like, why didn't you go to the ER? Why didn't you just go to the ER straight? You go to the pediatrician. Okay, pediatrician tells you, go to the fucking ER, bitch. And then she goes, and Christine's like, oh my God, I had no idea. It could be so serious. I'm like, what do you mean?
So I have to insert a personal story at this point. It is probably one of the funniest stories to come out of my family because of my daughter, your wife.
Yes.
So when my daughter, your wife, was, I want to say in fourth grade, third or fourth grade, little. I got a call from her school saying, Mrs. Delia, something is wrong with your daughter. All of a sudden in like third period, she started having cross eyes, like her eye crossed, and she was sent to the nurse. We've checked her out. She seems fine otherwise, but like her eyes are definitely crossed. Something's wrong. And I was like immediately thinking, oh no,
like brain tumor.
And I don't have 6 kids. I didn't have a lot of experience, but I just immediately thought neurology. I thought brain. I'm like, I'm taking her straight to the hospital.
Yep.
So I went and picked her up. We went to the ER. My then husband was like miles and miles away, but I'm not on the phone. I'm talking to my brother. We get into like the ER, and her eyes are definitely crossed. And so I'm talking to the doctor outside of like the little room, and he's like, well, like nothing else seems to be wrong. It's just very, very anomalous and strange that she would all of a sudden have cross eyes. So we're going to have to send her for an MRI. Is it a cat or an MRI?
MRI. She had an MRI.
She's going to have to be imaged, because the only thing I can think of is that maybe there's a tumor, maybe there's something going on. And so, of course, this is what we do. That's the next step. She gets sent for an MRI. And I am just internally breaking down. I'm like Christine in this episode.
Yes.
Like I am despondent because I can't think of anything else that it can be. And if it's a brain tumor, like the implications of that, I am just falling apart.
Of course.
I'm on the phone with my brother. My brother is praying for me. And like, it was so traumatic. And it was like literally hours, as you do when you go to the emergency room. So they take her to the MRI, they image her, get the results back. Absolutely no problems.
Yeah, normal.
And they're like, I don't know what's going on with your daughter here. But she seems perfectly healthy. Like the tests we've run, all other secondary tests seem fine. And so what they did was they called this ophthalmologist or this eye doctor. Like it was 9 p.m. by the time we got out of the hospital, and they asked him to open up his ophthalmology office. He came in special to meet with my daughter, and he fitted her with little glasses to help her correct her eyes.
Stop it.
So then he made the glasses.
I didn't even know that
on
part.
the spot. It took a couple of hours. He made the glasses on the spot for her. We got the glasses, we got home, and we finally just said, okay, let's go to sleep. And the entire time her one eye is crossed in. And I'm like, go to sleep. We'll wake up. You'll have glasses. It'll be really cool. It'll be fine. And I'm breaking down.
Yeah.
As a mom, I'm breaking down, Beatrice. And so the next morning, I walk into her room and she wakes up and her eyes are okay. Her eyes are back to normal. And I'm like, can you see okay? She's like, yeah, I can see perfectly fine. So long story long, bitch. It comes out later.
Yeah.
Quite a while later.
Yeah.
I just think it's a miracle. And Jesus is alive in me and you and in my daughter. And miracles exist. And I live in a magical space.
Yeah.
This is what I'm thinking. Months later, my daughter tells me that she was faking it the whole time.
And you know why, right?
And she was faking it because she was being bullied.
Yes.
By somebody at school, was making trouble. She didn't want to go from third period into fourth period.
Poor baby.
She wanted to be able to come home. And so when she tells me this months later, she was wise to do that because
Yes.
I was so fucking freaked out. And
Of
if she had told
course.
me in the hospital, I would have lost my shit. I'd be like, what
course.
the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But she waited. And so I was able to chuckle.
Yeah.
And then I was in awe that she kept her one eye crossed for literally, like I picked her up at, I don't know, noon for literally 11 hours. She kept one of her little eyes crossed the entire time. And she was faking. She went into the MRI with a crossed eye. With a crossed eye. Came out with a crossed eye. Went and saw the emergency optician or ophthalmologist, whichever is the doctor one.
And they made her fancy glasses. You know what they do?
Fancy glasses.
They do that with prisms. They put prisms in her glasses because I used to work for an eye doctor. And that's what they did. So they made her. I didn't even know that part. I knew about the MRI.
It wasn't just a prescription. He made that.
Yes, of
on
course.
The spot.
Yes.
So she had these fancy glasses set on her nightstand.
My
When
poor
she
baby.
woke up in the morning, I was going to be like, it's okay. But her eyes were back. Oh my God. And it was all fake.
At least it was normal.
It was all a lie.
My poor baby.
That is my daughter.
My
and I
God.
have to respect it.
She was being bullied.
And that's bad. And so
That's
then I
sad.
started teaching her how to fight and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
Which is good now.
yeah, but I mean, that was my cross-eyed story. Not the same as little Truly.
No.
Like she had cross eyes for an actual reason, but that is
Yes.
the lengths my daughter would go to not have to go to fourth period.
Well, it just speaks to like how Christine is feeling now. Like you can relate to that sense of panic.
Oh my God, yes.
Of like just looking at your young child and being like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong? And then for Christine's sake, like they get sent to the ER and the doc is like worried that it's meningitis, which is fatal, or freaking a brain tumor or whatever. And he even says it could be kidney failure. And sure enough, they find out that she is in kidney failure because her labs are all out of whack. She has no fluids in her, according to Cody, and she has to be admitted into the hospital. And it's terrible.
Terrible, terrifying. And they're hoping that if they give her fluids and they keep her in the hospital, that her own systems will come back online and she'll start urinating and she'll start like getting back on track. But that like doesn't happen.
No, for days.
For days, they give her some special medicine to sort of fill her up with some fluids. And they have to catheterize her because it's not coming out.
Yeah.
Before they try the dialysis. And so they did abdominal dialysis, which I didn't even know was a thing, versus... What? What are you doing?
It's real good.
Is it
Is
good?
it?
The habanero, the Carolina Reaper?
You can't just walk in on our podcast.
Yes, you can.
My panda bread is good.
Is it really good? How's the texture of the bread?
Gosh.
It's moist and delightful.
Really good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And so it's not too hot with the Carolina Reaper pepper?
No?
I put the whole thing in there because I didn't know.
Seeds and all?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
See little bits of
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
Really? Yay. Yay. I'm
Aw.
glad.
Thank you.
All for you.
Sorry about that, everybody listening and watching. That was my husband. My daughter-in-law here is a very accomplished and talented baker of sourdough.
I am obsessed with it, and I bake them sourdough every week.
Every week, I get a jalapeno cheddar loaf.
Yeah, 'cause
my
that's your
husband
favorite.
gets whatever you're making for him.
He always makes me do like some weird spicy pepper thing.
So
or-
he's growing habaneros.
Yeah.
And so he gave her some habaneros for some habanero bread, but he's also growing ghost peppers, scorpions,
and Carolina Reapers.
Carolina Reapers.
Apparently.
But he doesn't really know of them. And so he thought when he saw a red habanero looking pepper that it was just an overly ripe habanero or something.
He thought it was he told me it was a Scotch bonnet.
Well, that's a habanero.
Yeah.
It's the
He's
same
like,
thing.
it's a
So he
Scotch
just
bonnet.
Thought it was like a red one.
And so I took it home on Sunday and I'm like, I'm going to make him bread and I'm going to surprise him. I didn't even tell him I was making bread. I brought it over and then he texts me today as his bread's in the oven. He's like, by the way, that
Careful.
pepper I gave you is a Carolina Reaper. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I put it in your bread.
You're going to try it no matter what.
So-
So he's just busting in to let her know that it was really good. Sorry about that. So we were talking about truly getting abdominal dialysis, I
Yes.
guess, versus what other kind of dialysis?
No, abdominal dialysis is pretty common. It's for your kidneys.
Yeah, but there was another type of dialysis she could have got that was more hardcore. That they
Well-
were starting with the abdominal dialysis.
Yeah,
and I didn't
mean-
know what the other one was.
I think it's just how it's fed through.
Placed and
Yeah,
such?
I
Okay.
think for like kids it's a little bit different because they're so small and their bodies are so delicate. Like it's different like for older people and stuff that are getting dialysis and everything. But yeah, so they didn't want to start her on dialysis at first because she is such a little baby and they don't want to put her through all of that, but because she wasn't peeing and she had no fluids in her and she wasn't retaining anything and her labs were all out of whack, then they had to start the dialysis. And I think there was like on like day 7 or 8 or something like that. Like she's in the hospital for like a freaking week. I think
Yes.
total she ended up in the hospital for like 11 days,
Yep.
which is insane for like a little 3-year-old baby. And the doctors were telling Christine and Cody like, cases like this, we don't see the kids making out of it. So just FYI.
That's a terrible thing to say to a parent
Horrible.
who's standing vigil over their daughter
Horrible.
who is having acute kidney failure. And
Yeah.
I just really felt for Christine here because
too.
it seems like every night Cody got to go home to Robin's house and stay with Robin. And then in the morning, he would check in with Christine, who again has been standing or sitting or laying vigil the entire time with Truly, getting in and out of her hospital bed because Truly would call to her and say, come with me, mommy, in the bed. And so she'd get in the bed, but there's so much wires and so many
Yeah.
things that she couldn't stay in the bed. And so, but Cody gets to just be Disney dad in this situation and like skip out of the hospital and go back to his favorite wife and just call in and get checkups. I mean, it's not like he didn't care. And I'm not trying to say that he doesn't. It's just like, it's not something my husband would do. It's not something I would do.
That's what pissed me off about this. Because I'm just like, I think I saw a post about it on Reddit a while ago of somebody saying like, this would have been an opportunity for polygamy to like really shine. Like all 3 of the other wives that are home with all of the other kids could have taken over the forts and like taken over where Christine was gone and where Cody was gone. So that way Cody could be with Christine in the hospital with his little baby 3-year-old that is in kidney failure. But no, Cody goes home and stays with Robin for some reason, as if he's like super fucking helpful. Like we saw just last episode when everybody's in San Francisco and he's burning steaks and he can't deal with all of these kids around. He has to have Aspen and call her 17 times to have her help and be the parent because he can't manage any of the kids because he doesn't want to. It's just
Right.
like, it kind of pissed me off, honestly. I'm like, he should have been there the entire
Absolutely,
time.
especially in the beginning. Like
Yes.
the first night that Truly's in the hospital, Christine obviously stays all night, but Cody goes home because again, they're having a party for Leon and he wants to show up and let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I think it's the next day when Christine calls. Is it the next day when Christine calls and Mary gets I forget. There's an update. Christine's calling. She's not getting better.
Yes.
And so Cody's going to have to go back to the hospital.
Yep.
And so then we see Robin walk up to her purple bedroom, which means we're in Robin's house, and wake up Cody, who's taking a nap.
In her house.
And say, hey, like, it's not good, actually. Truly's not getting better.
Yeah.
The medicine's not helping. You need to go back to the hospital.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I hate to judge other parents. Obviously,
I'm judging.
I am. But I'm like, so you're at Robin's house. Why aren't you at Christine's house? Why aren't you with the siblings of Truly, especially Aspen and McKelty?
Straight up.
Who are probably really torn up about the fact that their little sister that they were taking care of because you're not a dad. Like, why wouldn't you be with them, comforting them and being with them as you're waiting for updates if you have to not be at the hospital?
You know, that's a good point. Like, why are you at Robin's house? Why aren't you at Christine's where Christine is not available because she's in the hospital with your kid? Oh God, that's what pisses me off. I am totally judging Cody for it because I'm just like, you're being kind of absent, dude.
Yeah.
Your wife needs you and your little baby needs you.
Right.
Because we all know that if King Solomon was in the hospital with kidney failure, Cody would have been there the entire time.
I think
with
so.
Robin. 24/7 he would have been there.
And it kind of lends itself to this idea that you see floated around the community that like Cody never really liked Truly that much, or maybe never really bonded with Truly that much, didn't seem to really enjoy Truly. And I think it was in this last season, season 19, when Cody and Robin show up to Gwendolyn's engagement party, or maybe it was McKelty and Tony's house, and they show up and Truly's sitting on the couch, and Cody doesn't even say hi to her.
Yeah.
Doesn't give her a hug, doesn't even acknowledge her at 11 or 12 years old or whatever she is at this time. Like, I don't think he ever bonded with her. I mean, I think he cares about her, but not like cares about her.
Yeah, I think it's like a superficial, like, oh
Yes.
no, I'm a dad, I care about my kids, but you don't actually care, because if you did, your actions would speak for that. And obviously, poor Cody, like, Truly has to watch this stuff back. I mean, she probably isn't, but you know what I mean? Like, if she ends up watching this stuff back, she'll see that her dad wasn't even there, like, the entire time while she's in the hospital, like, dying, basically. Like, you're in kidney failure.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be on dialysis. And luckily, a miracle,
Yeah.
like, it ends up working, but after, like, 14 hours of being on dialysis is when it starts to finally work, because they started her on it. It wasn't working right away. And I think that was when Christine called somebody, like Mary or whatever, and Cody's home, and Mary tells him, you can't come with me and Leon to college. Like, you need to stay here for Christine, because Cody was going to go. He was going to go up to Utah with Leon and Mary and see Leon off in their dorm. And like, I can understand that you want to be involved for your kids' like big day. I understand that it sucks for Leon to have all of their college stuff overshadowed by this tragic like thing that's happening with Truly. But the fact that Cody even had that thought of like, no, I'm going to be in Utah with you guys. And Mary has to tell him, stay home, dude. Stay home and be there for Christine. It's like kind of crazy to me.
Yep. Agreed.
And then I think after 14 hours of dialysis, it starts to work, and then it wasn't working. And then Cody says that he tried to get Truly to have like a pee poo poo party or something. And so he takes credit for that.
He does. He takes credit for this. So on the eve that she gets better, and we're like, so we're 10 days in, 9 days in, whatever it is, Cody decides to have some sort of a rallying talk with Truly, like on a level that a 3-year-old can understand.
Right.
And he asks her to please pee in your diaper.
Yeah.
And then, poop in your diaper, and let's have a pee poop party.
Yeah.
And Christine's like, yeah, I actually saw like a little sparkle in her eye when he said that. Like, she really got what he was asking for. And that gave her, like what Cody is trying to say, that gave her the inspiration to finally pee. I'm like, okay, I think it was the dialysis, and I'm thinking this is the functioning kidneys and stuff like that. But it was really glaring to me how he felt the need to take credit somewhat.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
For what was happening with his child. I mean, it's so narcissistic.
Oh, yeah. Communal narcissist. Like, oh, look at what I did.
If I hadn't said that,
right,
I don't know where we'd be.
Yeah. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. And meanwhile, you're going back home to go and sleep in Robin's bed while your kid is still in the hospital getting dialysis. But like, okay. And then it's like the 9th day or something. Dialysis is finally working. She's finally peeing after Cody saved the day and saved saved her life or whatever. And I think this is where Aspen goes and visits the hospital. Is this where we start seeing her breakdown, or was that before? I think she broke down a couple times.
Yeah, she broke down a couple of times. The first time was kind of early into it when the family gets together to pray, and Aspen is asked to lead the prayer, which again, I'm like, people pay attention to like
18.
other kids in the world.
Right.
So like pay attention to what's going on with Aspen. And so Aspen starts to pray, but then she breaks down in the middle of the prayer.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad for her. But yes,
too.
she does, I think towards the end, go and visit little Truly, and you can kind of just see the maternal bond, at least from Aspen's side of it. Like she needed to put eyes on this child. She needed to give her a hug. She needed to be there for her because she's essentially stand-in mama.
Yeah, 100%. And then I think this is where Christine calls the family and tells them that things are getting better and that she like truly gets to go home the next day, and everybody's super excited. And then they bring her home the next day. The whole family greets her. I think Leon's up in college though.
Yeah, I think the day after Truly goes into the hospital, Mary does take Leon up to Westminster.
Yeah.
And gets them checked into the dorm. What do y'all do?
I don't know. I didn't go to the
moved
dorm.
into
Yeah.
the dorm, and Leon's really happy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Leon is very concerned about Truly because that's Leon's sister.
Well, and Mary even says that, like, you know, it's kind of sucks that Leon has this like really exciting day of starting college and moving into the dorms, and like how fun of an experience that is. But it's coupled with this crazy thing with Truly. But Truly ends up getting out of the hospital. She ends up feeling a lot better. You can see the life coming back into her face. And she's brought back home. The whole family's excited. And then Christine says something about how this whole experience like connected her and Cody better, and Cody and Truly.
I think it was, okay, Christine says, this whole event has caused me to really be present with my children. Like when they're talking to me, I'm looking into their eyes.
Yeah.
When they need something from me, I stop what I'm doing and I am with them. Cody is the one who says that this medical event brought me closer to Truly and helped me to connect with Christine. It brought us closer again. So indicating and or implying that they haven't been close and that there are definitely issues in this relationship.
Yeah.
And it took this terrible experience to get them to be together in even close proximity.
Yeah.
Like together in the hospital room from time to time. And that helped their relationship. I'm like, okay, what happens though as soon as there's not a medical problem? What happens as soon as like you go back to Robin's McMansion? Where's Christine then? She's still taking care of all of these kids.
Well, and that's like where I'm thinking he's lying about that, because I'm like, most of the time when health issues and things like this happen between couples, it usually puts a massive strain on the relationship. Because if I was Christine, I probably would feel a little bit bitter about the fact that my kid was sick on his watch while I'm in San Francisco, and he didn't pay attention to the fact that she was fucking dehydrated, and he made my 18-year-old and 16-year-old daughters take care of my 3-year-old baby.
Christine does that too, though. Christine makes her children watch over her littles.
Yes, but she's also still more of a present parent than Cody is. It's like Cody's sitting there burning steaks on the grill.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if Cody is just talking out his ass here to try and like save face because he doesn't want people to pick up on the fact at this time that him and Christine and her family are struggling. I'm just like, I'm wondering how Christine's feeling. But Christine does say, like you'd said, she feels more close to all of her kids. She doesn't want to take any of the moments with them for granted. She's trying to be more present with them. So it did help Christine like realize like, oh shit, I got to stop being like all over the place. I need to focus on what matters, which is my kids.
Right. And I thought that was wonderful. And
Me
then
too.
they kind of tried to dovetail that into or roll that into the upcoming commitment celebration. Like, you know, you worry about things and there's squabbles in the family, but like this really reminds us of what is important, and it is our family and it is our being together. And so that really makes this celebration that's coming up much more important. And the focus of what we are building together as architects of our lives. Like, oh God.
Like, shut the fuck
Shut up.
This whole commitment ceremony is so dumb.
Nobody cares.
It's so cursed too. I'm just like,
So cursed.
you're talking about this, and I'm like, we all know that this commitment didn't last.
This cul-de-sac, these roots never get a chance to get burrowed into the earth or watered because you guys pick up and you leave.
And you fucking
just
leave.
like you always do.
Always, yeah, just to run away from all their problems. It's crazy. But we get into that preview. We talk about the commitment ceremony. Nobody gives a shit. We talk to some contractor who is talking about how polygamy is terrible. And I'm like, every single person.
It's got to be.
Every single person.
Proclaim to them that we are polygamous and then hear what their judgment is. Like, why do we care? We've been doing this year after year after year after year.
And every single one says the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're nice people, but
Seems
I would never
fine.
live that. Polygamy is terrible. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm tired of it.
I know.
Stop doing this.
It's so dumb.
God.
And then we have Mary going to her former employers for some reason to tell them that she's a polygamist because they've seen the show or something. I'm like, why?
No, I don't think it's because they've seen the show. It's like she's telling them for the first time is the way they're setting it up that, I mean, but you would imagine that they would have heard that Mary Brown is on some television show and that they have learned by now that she's a polygamist.
That's what I'm saying.
Again, it's just this creating content.
Always.
Producing episodes, not authentic. And so in season 6, even though there are definitely undercurrents that are quite interesting, even in this episode, like we're already losing the plot. We're already way too manufacturing these storylines. And I'm getting bored by it.
I'm so bored. And then the final thing in the preview is that unfortunately, Cody's brother Curtis passes away in a tragic motorcycle accident. And so his family's having to deal with that. And I think they go up to Wyoming and everything for it. So next episode's going to be really sad.
Yeah, they're having a very eventful summer.
Yeah, it's big yikes.
Yeah, lots going on with these Browns. They've been through a lot. You gotta give it to them. They've been through a lot, and they're still standing, at least for now.
Yeah, for now.
Well, is there anything else that we should say to these beautiful raccoons before we get up on out of here, Beatrice?
Well, if you love our podcast and want to support us, please go to your favorite podcast platform and leave us a glowing 5-star review. Really helps us grow the pod so more people can join us in the dumpster. We really appreciate it, so thank you.
We will be back later this week with our catch-up recap of Welcome to Plathville. We're going to be covering last week's episode and this week's episode, which I think is airing tonight.
Yeah, girl.
So I'm very excited to get to it. I'm like thinking it's going to be a good season.
It's going to be lit.
So we're going to come back and talk about that, I think, on Friday. Make sure you come back for that. But until then, please do not forget that we have nothing but love for you and peace out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.